Okay, so we're taking a deep dive into Revelation, right? Chapter 5.
Right.
And we're kind of in the middle of this big vision, this powerful vision. And there's this scroll sealed up tight with 7 seals.
7 seals, yeah.
The question is, who can open it? Who's worthy enough?
That's the whole point, isn't it? It's not just any old scroll, you know? It's not like someone's grocery list.
Right.
It represents God's plan for the future, the whole thing. And no one can open it. I mean, think about that for a second. That image of humanity being completely powerless. We're locked out of our own destiny, you know?
The tension in that scene, it's like you could cut it with a knife, right?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine being there, seeing that scroll, knowing the fate of everything is hanging in the balance.
Yeah.
And the text makes it so clear. It's like no one, not the strongest angel, not some king on earth, nothing, no power anywhere can break those seals.
Exactly. That's the whole point. It can't be anyone we know. It has to be someone totally different, someone with power beyond anything we can imagine.
So it's setting us up for a savior,
Yeah.
right? Someone divine, the only one who can unlock God's plan and set it all in motion.
Exactly.
And then we meet the lamb.
The lamb.
Not some fierce lion like you might expect, but a lamb. And it's been slain, like it's marked with the wounds. It's a powerful image, don't you
Well,
think?
absolutely. Powerful and multi-layered. I mean, the lamb represents Jesus, obviously, but there's so much symbolism packed into that image.
Right.
Sacrifice, redemption. You know, it hints at the cost of revealing what's to come. And ultimately, it's the lamb's sacrifice that makes him worthy to open that scroll, to reveal God's plan.
Yeah. And that image, the lamb, it's resonated for centuries, hasn't it? What are some of the ways people have interpreted it over the years?
Well, you know, some see it as a symbol of innocence and purity, especially because you might expect something powerful, you know, like a lion. Others focus on the sacrifice, like we were talking about. They connect it back to the Passover lamb in the Old Testament. And then some see it as a symbol of ultimate victory, you know, the lamb who conquers not through force, but through love and self-sacrifice.
Powerful stuff. And so much meaning in one image. It's incredible.
It really is.
Okay, so the lamb appears, and everyone's reaction is intense. I mean, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders, they fall down in worship. They're playing harps, offering golden bowls of incense.
Representing the prayers of the saints, yeah.
It connects this huge scene in heaven back to us down here. Our prayers symbolized by that incense offered up to God.
Yeah, and it shows they're not just being ignored. They're valued. They're part of this cosmic event.
That's a good point. And there's the song, this new song, praising the Lamb, praising him for redeeming us with his blood. And it's not just a few angels singing, it's a multitude, like a heavenly choir. I always get chills when I read this part. It says, "Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing."
Yeah. And you know, it's not just about how many voices are singing. It's about who's included. This song ends up being sung by every creature, in heaven, on earth, even in the sea.
Wow.
Everyone's acknowledging the Lamb and God on the throne. It just shows how important and all-encompassing this event is. It impacts everything, literally.
So we've got this sealed scroll. We've got this huge need for a savior.
Yeah.
And then the Lamb sacrifices himself to become worthy.
Yeah.
And everyone, everywhere recognizes that worthiness. It's a lot to take in.
It is, yeah.
And what about the scroll itself? Like what it actually says, what's in it? Do we know what God's plan is? I mean, some scholars seem to have different ideas about that.
That's true. The scroll's contents have been debated for centuries. Some people see it as a step-by-step guide to the future, like a timeline of the apocalypse. Others think it's more symbolic, you know, representing God's victory over evil in the end. And then there are some who believe it contains, like, the titles to creation.
Wait, really? Titles? I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, like deeds, showing that Christ has authority over everything because of his sacrifice.
So it's not about predicting the future. It's more about understanding the bigger picture.
Exactly. And I think that's a really important point. Revelation 5 isn't just about decoding some secret message. It's about grappling with these big ideas. Redemption, sacrifice, the triumph of good over evil, you know?
Yeah. And you know what I find interesting? This idea of a divine savior, this cosmic struggle, it still speaks to people today, even if we don't use the same language as John did. I mean, the need for hope, for someone to make things right, it's as relevant as ever.
Oh, absolutely. And if the creatures of the sea are praising the Lamb, if this event is so huge that it touches everything, well, it makes you think, doesn't it? What does it mean for us today? How should this change the way we live and what we believe? That's something we're thinking about.
Absolutely. Something to ponder.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you then.